Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. July 2015 has arrived and we're taking a quick look back at the first part of the year before plowing into the second half. From late 2014 to early 2015, sharks secretly documented and then exposed cruelty in the Forest Preserve District of Will County, Illinois. Our expose initially brought claims that we hadn't actually shot our footage in Will County or that we might be prosecuted for filming without a permit. But we proved that we were telling the truth about where the footage was shot and that we were at all times legal. While shark is opposed to all lethal means of deer population control, our video documentation at least persuaded the district to make adjustments to lessen the suffering of their victims. Shark will continue to expose the cruelty of lethal deer population control programs and will push for humane alternatives. In April, St. Patrick Parish in Stevensville, Wisconsin announced that its annual, decades-long tradition of pig wrestling had come to an end. That victory happened after we were asked to film the spectacle by Global Conservation Group, a Wisconsin-based organization. Shark sent 5 investigators who filmed the insanity from every angle so nothing was missed. We exposed that not only the pigs, but also children were abused and put at risk in a feces-filled mud stew. After the spectacle, we exposed the corruption of the Outagamie County Sheriff and District Attorney for refusing to prosecute clear violations of Wisconsin humane laws, including a law which prohibits a fight between animals and humans, and for posing a threat to children and the public health. We pursued the Green Bay Diocese and the Milwaukee Archdiocese, which for so long chose to ignore this outrageous activity. We held a press conference and went to the Green Bay Diocese with reporters. The Catholic Church is obviously a formidable opponent, but our video documentation was irrefutable, and now the pig abuse has come to an end. There's the story of Grace, a white-tailed deer shot in the face with an arrow last December. We learned about Grace last May and have been working to get her the help she desperately needs to save her life. So far we've been stonewalled by the New Jersey Department of Fish and Game, so now we'll intensify our efforts. Stay tuned for updates on Grace. In May, Shark sent an investigator to 2 rodeos in New Jersey. The first was at the Sussex Christian School in Sussex, New Jersey, which held a rodeo as a fundraiser. The violence and cruelty documented by the investigator was in opposition to everything a Christian school should stand for. The second New Jersey rodeo was in Gloucester County. Our investigator documented a lot of cruelty, including numerous bulls shocked with electric prods. When the abuse of the Gloucester County rodeo was exposed, it received national attention. To their credit, county officials admitted that there was cruelty and suspended future rodeos. On June 29, Sussex Christian School Board member John Amels informed us that the school would not hold any more rodeos. We applaud Sussex Christian School for doing the right thing. On June 13, Shark teamed up with Maryland-based Fish Feel, a fish advocacy organization, to document and expose horrific cruelty on the Patuxent River in Maryland. So-called sportsmen shot graceful, harmless cow-nose rays at point-blank range with arrows, then beat them with bats before hauling them into boats to slowly suffocate. The mass killing was a contest to see who could kill the largest of these graceful, docile animals. Shark had people in boats and at the weigh-in, so we were able to expose the cruelty on the water and the twisted individuals involved. In this clip, a participant tries to push a baby ray back into its mother for more weight. The victims were dumped afterward. We exposed that Costa, a seller of high-priced sunglasses, was a sponsor of this slaughter, and that Bass Pro Shops was also involved and actually had a boat participating. Also in June, Shark ran a number of 15 to 30-second television ads in advance of the Reno Rodeo, one of the biggest rodeos in the country. The ads were so effective, some stations that sponsor the rodeo refused to air our ads. This calf suffered a compound fracture at the Reno Rodeo. The contestant did not stop. The announcer never even mentioned the deadly injury. Say no to cruelty. Say no to the rodeo. We are preparing other ads for a few other significant rodeos around the country, and with your support, there will be many more ads exposing rodeo cruelty in the future. Shark has a pending lawsuit against the California Rodeo in Salinas, California for not reporting all animal injuries, as is required by California state law, and we anticipate developments on that action later this year. Shark is being sued by pigeon shooters in Pennsylvania. We've succeeded in exposing their cruelty, and they're unhappy about that. The lawsuit is baseless, and we fully expect to win, but it's costing us money. Costing us money is why the pigeon shooters filed the suit, and that is unfortunately draining our reserves. Looking forward to the last half of the year, a lot of what is planned cannot be spoken about because Shark is an investigative organization. What I can tell you is that we will visit a number of rodeos across the nation, and we have lots of plans for other animal abusers. We'll continue to expose Pennsylvania Judge Adolf Antonavich, who shot live pigeons tossed out of boxes in front of a Confederate flag. We want the judge removed from the bench. But for a couple of columnists, the Pennsylvania media is afraid to tell this story, but we're not. Judge Antonavich must go, and would be gone already if Pennsylvania weren't so corrupt. We're used to dealing with corruption, and we won't back down. We need two things from caring people who support us in order to move forward. The first is your funds to equip us and keep us on the road fighting for animals. I wish equipment and travel didn't cost money, but it does. Second, we need your involvement in pressuring the relevant parties once we obtain our documentation. This makes an enormous difference in our campaigns. You are the difference between victory or defeat for our non-human friends. Shark investigators aren't sitting in offices. We're out in the field documenting cruelty and rescuing the victims of abuse when possible. Education in the form of video documentation followed by action is the key to ending abuse. Obtaining documentation means going where the abuse occurs. If local humane groups around the country were taking care of business, we wouldn't have to travel nearly so far. But this is the reality we have to deal with. So we drive tens of thousands of miles annually. We've taken on issues other organizations have ignored or given up on. And here's what really matters. We not only persist, we make progress. But that progress depends on your support. If you want to be part of Shark's efforts and our advancements for animals, please go to this page and join us in making a difference. I want to mention that Shark's efforts in 2015 are largely made possible due to a generous grant from Last Chance for Animals in California. I want to personally thank Chris DeRose, the president of Last Chance for Animals. We could not have functioned this year without his help, and we can't function next year without your help. Now, if I were considering supporting Shark, the first thing I'd ask is, how much does the president make? I'll answer that question. I believe in Shark's efforts so much that I've never accepted money for my more than 2 decades of work. I'm privileged to work with the very best people in animal protection, and their efforts have made the great victories possible for our animal friends. That kind of reward is something no billionaire can buy. You can only experience this kind of fulfillment by being part of the effort, and I'm inviting you to be part of that effort, either as a contributor or if you think you have the energy and determination, a participant. Anyone can care about what happens to animals, but doing something about it is a whole other thing. If you want to move from just caring to moving forward, Shark is the organization you want to get behind. I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.